Hello and welcome to my channel, or back to my channel, as I always tend to say. Today I want to talk about a very serious topic. It's about being a public figure, so to speak, whether you're a writer or blogger, vlogger, social commentator. When you're talking about real life and real events and real people, we have to be circumspect in how we talk about them. We can't detail every little thing, but when we're talking about specific scenarios or situations, we're talking about an event that happened. We don't need to name names or point out specifics about people involved when we're talking about an actual event. You don't have to, unless they're primary in that event. And I run into this all the time. I've had issues over the years where I've made a comment about a public event or trend that's happening, and I write about it in general terms. And I've had people, friends and family, angrily contact me saying, "You're talking about me, you're throwing me under the bus." And I wasn't talking about them at all. I didn't even know they did that trendy thing, or they were at that event or a similar event. I knew nothing about it. They put it together as, "Oh, you must be talking about me." He knows I did that. No, I didn't. Anyway, I recently, the other day, had a situation with my father that I wrote about for dementia, a dementia family caregiving group. And on my Facebook and other places where I write, where I talk about a specific situation that happened. And they had a caregiver, a longer-term caregiver. I didn't mention that in there, in what I wrote, but I talked about the situation. My dad, the caregiver, got him in the shower. His legs gave out, almost on purpose, because dementia. He fell to the ground, on the ground, in the shower stall. The woman could not stop him from falling, could not prevent it, could not lift him up into a chair, couldn't pivot him. And so luckily, of course, I was home, and she got me, or called for me, yelled for me, and I came in, and I was like, "Oh my, here we go." Arms bleeding from where it's scraped up against the shower stall, and he's on the floor, on his legs, on his knees, and slumped over like this. And once my dad is down like that, the elderly man, he cannot get up. He's forgotten how to use his legs. His legs do not have any power at all. And when you try to lift him up, he can't help you because he can't remember how to use his legs. So anyway, she said, we need to call him. Well, later, she told me later this, but she wanted to call EMS. And I can't let my dad stay on the floor, either sitting or lying for 20, 30 minutes, because that'll hurt him. Number one, the hard floor, even if it's a carpet, and he'll forget how to use his legs for the whole day. And hopefully not forever. They get bruised very easily laying on hard surface. An unnatural surface for them when they're used to the bed. So anyway, I get in there, and she's talking about, let's use a gait belt. Gait. G-A-I-T. It's for walking, your gait. It's for helping people stay up or stay stable when they're walking so they won't tip over. And I said, no, we can't use that. And I probably said that a bit too sharply because I figured she's supposed to know this. I would have hoped she knew this. And if she didn't, she needs to know it. But that could break his ribs, trying to do that. Because like I said, once they're down, a lot of times they can't help you. Help them up. They forget how to use their legs. But anyway, I got him out of the shower backwards. The legs limp. Got him down on the floor, but sitting upright because I kept my knee behind his back so he wouldn't fall over. And I kept commanding him to do things. Just do this, sit up, do that. Don't fall. You're not going to fall. Stay steady. Demanding, barking. And I have to do that because if you're trying to baby him, too comforting, he won't get up. And he'll lay down. So anyway, what family caregivers have to do and do, paid caregivers can't, because if you saw them doing this or saying this on a video, you'd burn them alive on the internet, wouldn't you? You know, that nursing home person treat my dad like that, or my mother, you don't treat her that way. Sometimes you have to, otherwise they won't. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about the drill instructor. When they're used to you, they know that when your voice gets to that, they got to focus. They got to remember. They got to do what you say. So I got him up and whatever. And I got him back into the, onto the bed. Got him to walk. Got him up onto the toilet, let him sit there for a while, then got him up, standing, and followed me with hands on my one hand. Focus on me. Don't look there, look at her. Come here. And walked and got him on the bed. And from there we get him cleaned up, dressed, whatever. And then he gets up on his walker and he's walking fine to his chair to watch TV and have his food. I've been writing something about, from a long experience and some other issues I've had with caregivers over the years, and when I've read from other caregivers about familiarity, how it breeds contempt in this kind of situation. When I'm talking about caregiving, when your aides become too familiar, too comfortable, too used to the habits, too close, where they think they're family but they're not, and you might even think they're kind of like family but they're not. When you get too casual, you don't pay attention, things happen and things begin to slide, and then you begin picking up slack because they can't do it. Well, they aren't doing it anymore because you're picking up the slack, and it becomes a give and a take. But they're getting paid and getting to go home. You don't. You're there 24 hours a day. They're there 2-3 hours a day. They cannot care about your loved one more than you do. They cannot, even if they think they do. And they can be very close to you, you can be very close to them. And you think they know what you do when you talk about the kind of content you put out, talk about caregiving and all this. You figure they're not going to take anything personally. Well, unfortunately, that did happen. That the caregiver read what I wrote, not naming her, not shaming her, but she was already feeling bad that my dad had fallen. She wasn't expecting that. Was blaming herself, figuring she's not doing the best for my dad in her own mind. And that wasn't true. She's the best with my father in engagement and companionship. And I've lost that now because she quit. Or something happened where The day after I wrote that post, I got a call from the company. They were moving her, put somebody else in. They wouldn't give me a reason. They said she didn't quit, but who knows? So I lost somebody valuable because they took personally what I said, what I wrote, to other caregivers about where their part in it was minor. It's just an example, a broader scope of examples. And they read that, took it personally. So I've lost that caregiver. And it's unfortunate. And I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss her interaction and her ease with my father. She was very good with my father. But I can't write about events as they happen, real life events, if I have to worry about how somebody else may see it as personalizing it. I'm well known for writing about caregiving. More than on YouTube, for sure. And what I go into is the reality of the situation, the reality of emotions, the things you go through, caregivers go through. And the problems that arise and can arise. And about familiarity, when they get too close, when they begin to slack off, when they begin to not do as well, or pay attention, or think things, or show up late, leave early, more often than they used to. As much as they may be perfect for your household, other than that, you have to weigh these things. So what I wrote was a wider concept thing, but that was the today that happened, and I told it the way it happened. And it cost me that caregiver. Maybe she shouldn't have followed me on Facebook. It's part of what happens if you're going to be a social commentator. You're talking about real life, real people. And even if you don't point them out specifically, if you don't name them, if you don't focus on them, they still see it that way, like you're throwing them under the bus when you're not doing that at all. And the article I wrote, or the blog post I wrote, what I wrote, was an ongoing thing I'd already started before that happened. But I added the today in the middle of it. Maybe that was too close and too soon for me to put in there, but I still would have written it the same way. Another day. And this is the reality, that you can lose people, you can offend people unwittingly when you're being as real as you can be. And I have to be real about caregiving, about the actual situation. Because if I leave parts out, if I censor parts, if I leave people out of these stories, out of what happened, the reality of it, when it happens to somebody else, and those outside elements are part of it, and happening to them, they think, oh, this isn't usual, it's just me, we're cursed. No, you're not. No, you're not. I write to other caregivers, I make videos for other caregivers, so that they know they're not alone. And I'm not alone. This didn't just happen to us. We're not abnormal. This happens to everybody. This happens to multiple people at the same time. And when you write about this, talk about this, make videos, you have to be open and honest. You don't have to point them out. You don't say, oh, my sister, oh, my nephew, oh, my niece, oh, my daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, whatever. You don't have to do that. You can't focus on people when they're not the primary thing you're talking about. But if you even hint that this person was here doing this, they may take it very personally and think everybody knows it's me. When nobody knows it's you. Nobody. You're ancillary to the core point. And that's part of life. So I've lost a good person. And I am upset about it. But would I have revised what I wrote? No. Because I'm writing to other caregivers, other people, to know the reality of what we go through day to day. And I've been going through for more than a decade. And that's all that's ever in my mind, it seems, is caregiving and the life we lead and live and have to endure. And a lot of it, sometimes we think, oh my God, this is just me. It's happening to just me. It's not. We're in this together. You're not alone. We may not be there, but I'm your companion here because I've been through it too. And I show you that if it happens to you, I'm here. I did it. I got through it. And this is how I got through it. This is how I had to do it in order to get my dad off the floor. This is how I have to do it. This works for me, works for us. It might work for you in your own way. And that's what I write about and have for more years than the caregiver was a caregiver for us. And I thought she knew better, knew me better than that, and knew I don't throw people under the bus, but if I name you and blame you, I do it to your face. I do it up front, not in a Facebook post. Anyway, thanks for listening to me here, and I'll talk to you all again at another time.